Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jez7780. What grinds my gears? A quick one, episode 43. Not sure if this is going to come across real well. I'm doing this from some shoddy hotel network, so we'll see how it goes. But I was just chilling, waiting for the other show, playing Xbox. Check it out. I think we're going to be on at 9. I think. Not sure. It's always wonder about that, what time we start. But I was just chilling, drinking a beer, and I saw this article come out. And it's my boy Phil's. It's Phil Spencer coming out on WCC Tech article. And he's not saying anything that we don't know, but it's something that I would just like to comment on. And I don't even know if I can share my screen, but we will check this out. Actually, let me see. I saw a couple of guys jump in here. We'll jump in and see if this chat works. Let's see how this thing works out here. And let's mute that and check it out. So I'm going to share my screen. But first, before I go through this article, if you haven't seen it yet, it came out like 4 hours ago. For everybody, oh, here we go. Here's my thing. I sound okay. It sounds okay. All right. So, before we come in here, yo, Savage, what's up, Benji? What's up, guys? I'm going to step away from the chat. I'm going to go through this article. But before I go through this WCCF Tech article, every time I see this webpage, I always think it's WTF Tech. Like, what the fuck Tech? But anyway. It's a legitimate website. It's a good source website. But we're gonna go up here. What's up, Callie? Happy birthday to you, man. What's up? So before I do this article and go through these wonderful Phil quotes, the thing is and I know a lot of you guys have seen, is just the rumor mill about Xbox, about Microsoft buying these studios. 7. They're not done. They're not done. They might buy somebody who worked with Sony. They're buying these studios. And I always say on my show, the thing is that if you're sitting here thinking that these studios are going to bring value to your Xbox years from now, and you think Xbox is going to be like the 360, and dominate the console space again, it's not happening because you are deaf to what is happening at Microsoft. Phil Spencer has specified numerous times, right from the horse's mouth. Yeah, they're going to buy Insomniac, right? Impatient. They're going to buy them all. The fuck, they're just going to buy Sony. The fuck buying studios. They're just going to buy Sony and Nintendo while they're at it. But you see the hype for the studios. If this was the Microsoft of old, I personally would be excited going, wow, they're investing. But the purpose of these studios is for something far greater than any console benefit you will see. You may reap the benefits of some of these studios, and I think 343, I figured Coalition, the traditional ones. But these new studios that they have acquired, they have a whole different outlook for this. And the biggest thing in this is Game Pass. Game Pass is your Xbox. So sit there, look at that console, and know that Game Pass is that. They have transcended the console. Whether you find that a success, you want to celebrate the dollars because Microsoft shares it with you, then do it. But you cannot go out here and dominate and just say that they are coming back for next generation because of these studio acquisitions. You need to look at what they're saying. And they've said it numerous times and what they're currently doing. So to all the people out there with this hope and prayers that Xbox will be back, I am sorry to say, as an Xbox fan, it's done. Finute. Hasta la vista, baby. It's done. Whatever shell of Xbox used to exist, it is no more. They will make a new console. They will make a stronger console, a more powerful console. But the whole world is going to change because those games that are made for the console are going to be everywhere. And the traditional gaming console that we have seen gaming grow from 1980 beyond that to currently where we are now in the traditional console model. You build a piece of hardware, you make great games, and then you move on to the next piece of hardware and make great games. That model seemed to be working pretty damn well over these last 30 or so years. But Microsoft is doing it something else. And what's amazing is that Sony and Nintendo are proving that the traditional console model dominates. You just don't understand. Before I get into this article, Nintendo, the Switch is going to dominate Friday. It is going to be ridiculous moving forward. Okay, with Smash Brothers on it. There's no Smash everywhere. It's Smash on a Switch. Go buy a Switch if you want Smash. Go buy a Switch. There's no like kumbaya, I want it on my PC. Let's play Smash Brothers. Oh, let's have Mario jumping around on my mobile phone in Smash Brothers. Android first and iPhone second. No. It is go buy a fucking Switch if you want to fucking play Super Smash Brothers. And go buy a fucking DLC if you want to get more characters. And that console is going to supersede sales of the Xbox in the next year. So tell me what model is failing. It's because Xbox has lost the vision. They have put up the white flag and said, fuck the console. Let's just go reach out Sandy Sue and Little Boy Blue on his Android phone sitting over there in China. Or let's go give people who want to play Gears of War who can't afford an Xbox. To make sure my thing connected. Let's see. I'm back. Okay, sorry about that. There we go. Yeah, it went out a little bit for my phone, this Bluetooth connection here. But the thing is that Phil Spencer wants to take care of people that have no interest in the content that Microsoft delivers. Meanwhile, the people that diehard want that content, he's asking them to wait. What the fuck? What's up, Sick? What's up, Impatient? What's up, Andrew? How you doing, man? The thing is like, why do you think that little Tommy, sitting there who can't afford an Xbox, wants to strap on an Xbox controller to his phone and play Gears of War on it over an internet? Or strap on this, like, there is no, like, Android has tried this. I've said this before. Android has tried this with games. And how many people have you seen with a fucking Android phone strapped to a Bluetooth controller playing games on a bus? Please tell me who. Who is that market? There might be 2 billion phones out there, but there's 2 billion people that could give a flying fuck as to what you're giving them. They don't give a shit about Halo. They don't give a shit about Gears. They don't give a shit about your studios. They don't give a fuck what you want to do. And all you're going to be is an Xbox app sitting on a phone and ho-hidey-hum engagement numbers. Meanwhile, nobody wants that content because you haven't provided a demand for your most important socket, the Xbox gamer. You need to satisfy the core audience before you go poking your dick around in other elements. You need to satisfy your core and then build out. You've told the core, hey, we built you some hardware. Sit there and suck on your dick while we go poke around everywhere else. That's the fucking bullshit that I have. I don't give a fuck if they want to go poke their dick around, as long as they're satisfying the guy at home, as long as they're satisfying the core people. But they don't want to do that. They want to grow. They want to expand when they ain't satisfy the core. And we're going to share this. I don't know what fucking whack-ass internet I got here. We're going to see if I could share this fucking article because I want everybody to just, if you have an Xbox in front of you, look at it. Take a good hard look at it and then close your eyes and hear the smoothing sounds of Phil fucking Spencer open up his fucking pie hole talking about everything but that 500 piece of fucking plastic under your fucking TV. And here we go. If this fucking shit works. Let me see. I'm going to share my bullshit. This is probably going to explode my computer because this bullshit don't work. So sorry, chat. All right, I'm sharing my screen. Hopefully you can see this thing. So this is what came out. This made me go, motherfuckers, still talking shit. This is what he says. You know those studios that you see your friends on Twitter hosting? All these studios. Oh, my God, please. All these studios, yes. Keep buying more and more and more. Keep buying more studios. Even though exclusives, oh, no, I don't like – the exclusives don't matter. It's all about the multiplats. I think Sick was – I was hearing him this morning. He was saying the same thing on his thing while I was traveling. Like, exclusives don't matter, right? It's all about the multiplats. That's where the money is. But meanwhile, you rather than buy a studio for exclusives. So fucking bullshit. And it was always exclusives matter. Back when the PlayStation 4 had fucking bullshit. People would playing Resogun. And Xbox was doing Rise and Dead Rising 4. And Halo and Titanfall. And PlayStation was fucking around with 4 Hour The Order. And Resogun. And Washed Up Killzone. The only game that was good was the what was it? Infamous. Second Son was like the big one that came after the holiday. And Knack 1. It was about exclusives. It's always been about exclusives. Multiplats are there to lock in the casual gamers, but the exclusives are what you come for and you stay for the exclusives. That is the reason why. If you had 3 consoles out there giving you the same game, why would you even buy it? What would be, you got everything has an exclusive, everything. Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Stars, everything. Everything has exclusive content to say this is why we're different than the competition and this is why you should be with us. So it's always about exclusives. And especially if you're giving up premium price hardware. I think I was told today when I said the Xbox X should have been at $400 because that's what the competition was at. I was told a premium product for a premium price. Man, how far does that dick go up your ass? Because that's some fucked up shit. They should have seen what the price of the gaming industry was and what was on the store shelves at the time. They need to be competitive. And the X purpose wasn't to sell, to gain console mindshare. That wasn't the purpose of the X. I don't know what business you're in, but if you ever sell a product without the intent of it to sell, that is a failed product. Hence why NPDs. Microsoft hasn't even won an NPD. Not even when the console launched. And I'm telling you right now, I asked Matt Piscatella because he keeps talking about over year, Xbox is growing year over year. Well, guess what? Now this month, November, we compare apples to apples. Now an S and an X are on shelves. An S and an X are on shelves now. You were comparing an S only when everybody was waiting for the X last year to now 2 hardware products. Of course it's going to have year over year, especially when one of them is almost twice as much as the base console. It's fucking numbers. It's all fucking play on numbers. Now the rubber hits the road. November, December, next year. Now we see true. Is it year over year because the Xbox is doing well, or are you just selling the X to the same people that bought an X? And you got 1 piece of hardware on shelves. Now you get 2. All right? It's all about the games. It's all game numbers playing on numbers. See, if there's year over year growth with the Switch, that's great because a Switch versus a Switch. It's 1-to-1. A PlayStation, there's a Pro and a Slim. Pro and a Slim, 1-to-1 year over year. Same thing on shelves. It wasn't out for the Xbox. The whole entire year, there was 2 products on store shelves and over 1. So he just said, does that grind my gears? I'm like, well, not really, but just making a point because, because his article ran around was saying that the X is doing phenomenal. Oh, okay. Well, let's see how phenomenal it does to its launch month. I can guarantee you November was the highest sell of the X, and it's always been downhill from there. No way that X is going to be the same price, the same number. Maybe it is, but the price of $400, maybe. But I think the ship has sailed. There has not been enough content to really justify the power of that console so far. Red Dead Redemption was a little bit, but that's about it. So anyway, sorry to keep the chat. I haven't seen you guys, but anyway, I get back to this article. I digress. There's been a couple of things I've been wanting to try to jump on here, but it is what it is. So this is what Phil Spencer says about those wonderful, glorious studios that he's been using to tease news for the last year. I hesitate to look for a studio that's only capable of developing games on one device. You know what device he's talking about, right? That fucking piece of plastic that's under your TV that has an X on it. Yeah, so you don't want to develop one. So just with that title alone, how can you legitimately be an Xbox fan sitting there giddy as a little kid saying these studios are going to make Xbox relevant again or make Xbox gaming best? When you look exactly what he's saying, he don't want these studios to make something special for the console. He wants these studios to make games for everybody. Shit, they might not even be on the console. Who knows? Because the story goes crazy. And I go right to the quotes. I don't go to the fucking interpretation bullshit. This is what he said. He talks about the 3 C's, right? Content, community, and cloud. And cloud is the way that they could deliver community and content. Now he's all ballsy about the cloud. Remember, he was afraid to talk about it. He said, oh, I was going to joke around. And, you know, it's always a joke. Now he's all balls in. Balls deep in cloud right now. And he goes, I hate to look at a game studio that's only capable of building on one device because gamers play games on all devices. Here's that fuck shit again. I had a tweet, or I had an image of the top 10 games sold on PC, sold on console, and sold on mobile. There was like only 1 or 2 games that crossed the generation, and that was like Fortnite or PUBG. There's very few games that cross the threshold over those 3 systems. But Phil Spencer here, our good buddy, the savior, thinks that because your boy Jez plays Halo on my console, that I play fucking Panda Pop on my phone in my spare time. Oh, and then I go on my PC, grab my mouse and keyboard, and go flying fucking around in Age of Empires. Now, hence, 3 different games. I'm not the same gamer. There's very few people. And you want to know why this is bullshit? It's because those platforms, the phone, PC, and console, require 3 different types of input control. And you could try to put a square peg in a round hole. And maybe if you force it hard enough, maybe you'll get some people to bite. But by slapping a controller on a phone does not make that phone an Xbox. By plugging a controller into your PC, it doesn't make it an Xbox. You still need to use the keyboard and mouse. You still need to get up to your screen and do it. It's not the same experience. Steam tried this with Steam Big Picture. And that was actually a better interface than what Xbox offers on PC, where you can't use your friends list. You can't navigate your friends list with your controller. You got to go up to your keyboard and mouse and control it that way. It totally takes you out of the controller experience. And you can't slap a keyboard and mouse on a console that's 10 feet away from you where you're sitting and think now that that person's going to be the same person that plays on PC. There's 3 different types of gamers. There's 3 different types of things. Motion, touch control on a phone, Panda Pop, tactile responses. They're different. They're different gamers. It's not the same person, Phil. So you could slap Halo on 3 different devices. Fuck, look what you did with Gears of War. Gears of War 4 was, and this is what I'm talking about right here, Gears of War 4, first time ever, launch date on PC. 3 to 4 months later, You were looking to combine the playlist because there was not enough people on PC to sustain the playlist online. Fuck, Call of Duty launched a new WP on Windows 10 Store, and they refunded everybody because there wasn't enough people to play that game on the Windows 10 Store. Steam dominates PC. Put your game on Steam or get the fuck out. If you're really serious about PC gaming, Microsoft's not serious about PC gaming because if they were, all their games would be on Steam. They're not concerned with giving as many gamers as possible, right? Because if you were all about Phil Spencer, kumbaya motherfucker, saying, I want as many people to play my games, then put your motherfucking games on Steam. That is where the billions are on PC. Don't put them in the walled garden of the Windows 10 store because you're a fucking hypocrite. You're a fucking hypocrite. You created that walled garden piece of shit Windows 10 store, and you think that putting your game on there gives people, you're reaching 2 billion people? Why? Because it comes pre-installed on all Windows 10 devices? That's bullshit. If you really want many people to play, then you go where it's hot and it's Steam. Look at what happened to Cuphead. And they're not the same players. Gears is still forced crossplay. You could vote out of it on PC. Fucking Sea of Thieves is forced crossplay right now. Can't wait for that PvP bullshit to drop, right? You can't opt out of it. Your PC mouse sniper motherfuckers on Sea of Thieves because they don't have enough on each platform to sustain an environment. It's free on PC. They still can't get enough people to sustain. It was taking people long for playlists. I did it in my previous videos back talking about Gears of War 4 and showing that not even 4 months later did they have to combine the playlist with PC and Xbox because the PC playlists were taking too long to populate games. It's fucking failed. How many games you know are still play anywhere? And look at that. What? Sunset Overdrive, not play anywhere? Nope. Not crossplay either. It's a failed fucking experiment. And Microsoft doesn't give enough time to let things simmer out. Like they're getting rid of Edge browser. It was all about Edge, right? Edge and drawing and stuff. Yeah, now they're embracing Chromium. Microsoft doesn't let anything. They try to upsell you on all this bullshit, and then they pull the rug from you. Snap was the best thing in the world. Oh, no more Snap. Connect was going to read your heart rate and see. Yep, no more Connect. It's all bullshit. And then this is the best line here. This is the one when he talks about Project X Cloud. And look what he does. And this is, I did this back when we talked about the cloud. Look at his first line. We focus first on Android phones because there's 1 billion Android phones on the planet, and it's a place where the content that we've built up over time has been unable to reach. They haven't been able to reach those people on Android phones. And you want to know why he's focused on Android? Because I mentioned in my other video. It's because Apple doesn't allow for game streaming in their, on their Apple Store. Android's doing it. Steam Link is on Android. Steam Link is not on Apple. Apple has restrictions on their store. And this is because Microsoft is the can't beat them, join them thing. Microsoft doesn't have a platform. So they got to go beg to their competitors, Google, Apple, please. As soon as Microsoft even sees success in any of this shit, they will squash it out there. And if Google streaming becomes big, Google will make sure that Microsoft does not succeed. Fuck, they don't even have a native YouTube app on the Windows 10 store. They don't even have Google in the Windows 10 store. It's competition. Google and Amazon fucking beat the shit out of each other last holiday. Google does not. Amazon said, fuck you, Google. We're not put. Google's like, you know what? You're not selling our home assistant. We're gonna pull YouTube app from your Fire TVs. And they pulled it. Now you got to use the Amazon browser to get to YouTube. No native YouTube app. They pulled it last year and they had a message. And then Amazon cracked to sell Google Home. But Google said, fuck you, we're never coming back. And they haven't, a year later. Microsoft doesn't have a mobile strategy. So why are you poking your dick in the mobile realm, Microsoft? You have no business there. You got PCs and you got Xbox. I could see that. But you don't have a fucking phone for the fucking life of you. You tried that game. You bought Nokia, sold them backwards. You couldn't even fucking do anything with them. So this is the thing. He sees 1 billion people, just like Forza and Gears and all these. When you got 10 billion PCs out there, sitting out there, you got all these PCs sitting out there. So make sure my thing's still going. Yeah, okay. You got all these PCs sitting out there. And you just threw Gears of War on the Windows 10 store. And I'll get back to chat in 1 second. But I just wanted to show this because I don't want to do this interpretation. This is what he said. And this is the big thing. And then when he goes over here, and he says right here, so you look at Project X Cloud, and you look at something like Game Pass. There's a synergy between the two. And he says right here, Game Pass, all right? You think it's an Xbox exclusive. This is the Xbox. It says right here, it started on the Xbox One. It will. Yo, we don't even know if Fable fucking is confirmed, but we know, guaranteed, balls to the wall, it will come to PC. He seems fucking pretty confident on that. And this is what grinds my gears. They are fucking so confident in this cloud bullshit and their tech, but they won't share a fucking bit of what games they plan on making. And we sit here making stories for them. Meanwhile, this motherfucker just comes right. It will. Satya comes out going, it will. Oh, but it's too early to talk about Fable. We can't confirm Fable. Now, we won't talk about what our studios are making. We won't show any more Gears 5. No. We won't show any more Crackdown. We showed that little snippet of 1 minute. 1 minute of the cloud. The cloud works. Look, the shit's falling down. We're good. But we won't show any more. And you can't take any videos. No crapshes. We won't show any more Crackdown. But I could sit here and go, Game Pass, it is coming to PC. And eventually it will come to every device. Quote Phil Spencer. It will come to PC, and it will come to eventually every device. You don't say it will come to Android phones. He's talking everything. I guarantee you Switch is first. Once they get the phones in, Switch is next. And eventually, if PlayStation decides, like, it's not Nintendo and Sony are going to be begging for this shit. I think Microsoft's going to be begging, and they're going to be, and I'm telling you, Nintendo and Sony will allow this, especially Sony. Sony would say, yeah, you can put Xbox Game Pass on our console just once you stop selling that Xbox console. Because that's the thing. You are solely relying on your competition, solely, to expand this beyond PC. How do you see that success? You have no mobile strategy. And he says, we use the flywheel. So I looked up what a flywheel was. So what a flywheel is, the flywheel to attract customers. Basically what a flywheel is, there's the tunnel strategy, business strategy, and then there's a flywheel. Oh, before I shut this off, I want to get back to the chat. You should look at the business. I'll describe what the flywheel is. But he says, so far as growing Game Pass early, we're seeing success in Game Pass today. It's been critically important where our content investment is. First-party studios investments are making now and accelerating the flywheel of the customers to see it work. So let me explain what the public trials are beginning next year. So let me stop sharing my screen here. The hell? There we go. I don't know if that worked. I hope it did. I don't know how bad this internet is. We got some 12 viewers in here. What's up, everybody? I'm going to get to the chat. Sorry, man. Tiger King, what's up? So, what's up? Yeah, Nintendo's a business. I enjoy playing their games. Sony's a business. I like the games that they're playing, that they're doing. Everybody's a business. There's nothing denying that. It's just that Microsoft's business is not focused on what everybody wants or thinks is going to be successful. That's the thing. Oh shit, I gotta show that Rand. Hey, what's up, Rand? That's the thing. They're all businesses, obviously. And you know what? I have no issue with Microsoft doing this. It's just, I think they're putting the cart before the horse. Make the games, get the core riled up, and expand. Then expand. But you can't expand and try to make stuff at the same time. And that's where they're trying to. I forgot what it is. I'm not a business major like that, but like you expand, but you can implode because you're expanding while you're still trying to build. You don't have a foundation. They need that foundation. And that's where I have the problem. It's like, you know what? Put your shit on phones. That's great. But come with let us know what the games are. Let us get hyped up for the games. Show confidence in your games. I don't see confidence in Crackdown 3. The little bit that they've shown, it's almost like a peep show. Like, hey, you pay 25 cents and go peek under the curtain and see a little bit. I don't see a confidence in that. I don't see confidence in their games. And I just and along those lines, Ashen and Below, they talked Below 4 years ago and then mentioned it at E3, and now they're just going to dump it out on December 14th. You couldn't show Below gameplay or hype it up a little bit, show some more games at XO18, show Ashen. These are exclusive for your console launch exclusives. Or maybe not on the Steam, I get. Yeah, console launch. They were console exclusives. Like, embrace what you have. Hype up the games. Their marketing, I think that's probably what I'm most upset about, is just their marketing and advertisements and confidence. If you show a lack of confidence in your products, then the buyers are not going to have confidence in what you're offering. And we're seeing it, and you see it. That's the problem that I have. And and as a third party, as gaming industry, and again, as a gaming industry, what they're doing, what Microsoft is doing is great. It's just, I just find that how do you do this, but also sell a competing device against your competitors? Like, if you want to do this, then just get rid of the console, because you're going to have a hard time trying to sell this service to your competition when you're still selling a competing device. That's the problem that I have. It's like you're mixed messaging here, and you can't grow if you haven't satisfied the core. You got people saying, I wish I knew more about the games coming. And, Sony showing all the bullshit and showing all the trailers and stuff. Yes, they're building hype for those games. Look how much of Days Gone bullshit they've shown. Game Informer, Insider. Crackdown is like behind the glass. Like, you can't even look at it. Has anybody really played in all this other shit? Crackdown. They had it at XO event. You had a little trailer of it. Nobody's streaming it. Major Nelson wasn't playing it. Nobody's playing it. And nobody's showing what Crackdown can do. Maybe run a single-player mission. Why? What are you going to do? You're going to show it in February right before it comes out? Are you hiding something? Because that's what it feels like. The uncertainty creates doubt. Their marketing and their confidence in their product is horrible. Is horrible. Forza for Horizon 4. Amazing game. Amazingly reviewed game. Why would you, Tiger, why would you expect the Crackdown 3 in January when we just had the XO event? They brought back XO. They flew Joseph Staten down to Mexico to show a 1-minute trailer and fly him back. Joseph Staten wasn't even part of the multiplayer portion of it, which he showed the trailer to. Joseph Staten was helping writing the single player. He's a writer. He was writing, he was developing the story. But we got to wait. We got to wait, right? We got to wait. And shout out to Rand, what's up, man? Playground's making Fable. And that's the thing. We know Playground's making Fable, but Microsoft has yet to confirm it. They have yet to confirm that they're making Fable. But he goes on there going, Game Pass will go to PC. It will go to eventually all devices. That he says with confidence. But confirming a game or showing a game, they don't have confidence. And that's the thing. It just seems like they have no confidence in the content. But let me get back to the flywheel thing. So what is a flywheel model? So I looked it up. A flywheel model is that you start off slow, but what you do is you keep putting more and more effort into the wheel, and the wheel starts gaining momentum, and the wheel starts spinning, and eventually it starts spinning on your own. And what you do is you just keep adding stuff to the wheel, and almost like a catch-all. Okay, you don't put anything specific, but you just keep contributing effort in there, and eventually the wheel just keeps spinning, gaining inertia as your business keeps growing. So he referred to Game Pass as the flywheel. So it's slowed with slow inertia, and what they're doing is they're buying a bunch of studios to make content for the wheel, to keep injecting content to the Game Pass to get the wheel going, to get the wheel spinning. And I'm sure eventually they're going to be like, okay, now third party, you could throw stuff in here, the wheel, and now it takes on a life of its own and encompasses it. And it keeps, and now it just kind of just keeps spinning and spinning. And they feel that they'll give this wheel, when it gains inertia, they'll give it to PC, and then eventually they'll put it to streaming on the console. I mean, on the phones, right? They'll just put it on the phones. And that's kind of where they want to go with this flywheel model. And that's what he referred to Game Pass as. But Game Pass, I think, is great. I like, and I shout out to Rand in the chat. I love when they have games that are launching in Game Pass. I think that's really great for the games. Like, I think Ashen and Below are going to be two of those games. There you go. Thanks, Rand. Far Cry New Dawn. Oh man, I just hope it's not just the apocalypse. It could be just Far Cry DLC. I hope. Now we're doing apocalypse stuff. I hope 2019 is not the year of the apocalypse and zombies again. We come back. But yeah, I think there's going to be some cool gaming announcements tomorrow. If the game was, I'm sure we'll talk about it on the show if we have one. I don't even know. Do I see an invite? Yes, I'll be jumping on that show now, but I just wanted to get this little tidbit in. Actually, Tiger King, I think Ubisoft, I think the Far Cry, that they wake like, oh, tune in tomorrow. The game was to announce new Far Cry. I'll tell you one thing though. Speaking about the Far Cry, if they announce that game and that shit comes out like in the spring, there's gonna be like 1 year after Far Cry 5. I don't know. I hope it's just not Far Cry, same map with this. I hope it's not. Oh shit, yo, I bet. Oh man, I know Far Cry Noon Dawn. Yo, do you think it's gonna be like another Far Cry Primal, where it's gonna be this kind of just basically takes the same map of Far Cry 5 and just makes it now like the apocalypse, add zombies to it and stuff? Like, oh shit. Like I said, it could be DLC. That's just kind of weird to announce another Far Cry game, unless it's an expansion. That would be cool. I would like an expansion, but if it's a $60 Far Cry game like they did with Far Cry Primal, no thank you. I'll stick with Far Cry 5 and their DLC. But, we'll see. I wish the XO would have been a perfect thing to talk about Fable. Like, it's again. Oh, is it? It's a direct sequel to Far Cry 5, post-apocalypse. Okay. Sounds good, Rand. I trust you. Rand's a true dude. I trust him. I trust what he says. I hope so, because that Primal, I like Primal for what it was, but it was just a little too much of a. They used the same map. I remember that. That was crazy. But we'll see. I think the game was going to be exciting, But I just wanted to comment on this article, and it's nothing. It's nothing new. We know this. it's just to me, it's so disheartening. Generally, to me, it's disheartening because I wish the focus can be outside the box, but just get, just for once, just focus on and all that quote thing. He really never talks about the console. He just got, and he even says like, "Oh, we gave them the X." Like, he's satisfying by people just giving. He just thinks that Xbox fans just want hardware. That's not why I signed up. It was all about the games. It was games, and know what else? It was the games that brought the community together. And that's where I don't like where he says, I don't like the 3 C's. I don't like content. Content is varying. That could be games, that could be shows like Inside Xbox, because he does talk about Game Pass and Mixer. He doesn't talk games. Now, yes, they bought game studios, but he talks about content. I wish he was like game, because games are what brought the community together. Those Halo 2 nights, those Halo 3 nights, guys, that's what brought everybody together. The Halo, the Gears nights, even Call of Duty. Like the community was driven off of the games. Exactly, Savage Yoga. And that's all I say. I say this in every single one of my things. And I might be I'm so happy you guys come out and tune in to hear me say the same shit about games. But just like all that paragraph, just make great games and the people, the content will come. That's it. Just make the games. I don't know why it's been so challenging to get through. It's the services, the features, the kumbaya, the on the phones. That is wonderful. But it all stems from the games. You get what you get. That's right. You'll get what you get. You'll get an Xbox One X and you'll get an Xbox X2 and you enjoy. Because it's all about the games. The games will come. Like, look, and again, I know Sony had a bang of a crazy year. Like, how can I have 2 Game of the Year nominations from the friggin' one platform? It's amazing. It's like Nintendo-ish craziness. But it's all about the games. People gravitated to a PlayStation more so than ever because of God of War. And, Tiger King, you're right. Tiger King, you are right. I'm not saying Sea of Thieves is a trash game, and, well, I don't like it. But, no, there are people that like that game, and there are people it is, and that's fine. And I'm not saying that nobody likes those games. But those are not the games that it's sort of like as like Mooch would say, Mooch would say, like, you're talking about appetizers. Where's the main course? Like, those games are not going to move stuff. Like Microsoft, and I think the biggest problem is Microsoft's lack of confidence in this. Like Sea of Thieves, there should have been a much better explanation on what Sea of Thieves was, the content that it has. And it was sort of like an experiment. And they used Rare to say, hey, put this game out there. It's a good shell of a game. And we'll see if people like it. And then we'll just add content to it. It seems like it might have been a full-fledged game. It might have been a big game, but maybe they saw Game Pass. Because remember, Sea of Thieves was like the first victim of Game Pass, basically. But the thing is that if you really invest in storytelling, making great games, and stop worrying about the delivery method, the service, Mixer, just make a great game. Make your development studio make a great game. Like, I really am interested to see what Ninja Theory does, because Ninja Theory just set out to make a great game. And I really hope that those studios don't get tarnished because Microsoft wants them to use UWP and cloud tech and use our AI, Microsoft AI, and all this other stuff. It was a victim. Sea of Thieves was a victim of Game Pass. Like, maybe they said, hey, we had all these plans. We might have to delay it. They're like, nope, put it in Game Pass in the thing, and then we'll give it more so. They weren't confident in the games. And I think Microsoft's marketing is the worst. They're very bad in hyping up their games. They hype up the wrong things. They hype up the controller. They hype up Aaron Greenberg in a submarine shooting a guy out of a cannon. for it's just fucking Rand is like attacking Rand and Andrew Wilkins. It's gonna be like the fight night. But anyway, I gotta go jump on. I think Kit Smooth's gonna be yelling at me here because I'm not on his show here. I gotta go jump on his thing. What time is it? This is almost. Oh, well, I'm gonna get a few more minutes because I'm gonna jump over there. But yeah, I know. Like Rare, again, and that's what I say. Like the other thing is when you look at these studios that Microsoft has. And the power of Microsoft, the financial backing of Microsoft. Just look at what Rare did with the power of Microsoft. Look at 343 can't get a game out in the next 4 years. Yeah, they're building a whole new engine. But, like, my God, they can't do – and this is another thing. Like, you tell me that they have a 100-person studio with these little these studios that they're buying. Oh, and they're working on multiple projects. How can they work on multiple projects when the 400 group of 343 – makes one game every 4 years, and they spent the whole entire year fixing Master Chief Collection. Like 343 Rare should be doing like what Coalition's doing. 3 games, boom, boom, boom. Which, I thought at E3 they talked about those other 2 games coming this holiday, but I guess they got pushed last year. It's been rough. Game development at Microsoft has been rough. That's why I really hope this booty hose knows how to run studios and could fix this shit, because development of Microsoft has been horrible. I don't know what Shannon Loftus does. All she does is tweet about government. I stopped following her because she's sort of she's the one who got Lucky's Tales and all this other bullshit, global marketing and some shit like that. And she don't tweet about one fucking game at all. She tweets about Donald Trump tweets. It's like, you know what? Like, people are following your Xbox news. I'm not following for your fucking political opinions. I know it's your personal account, but just talk about games. My God, you just click on a tweet at Twitter. That one fucking game. She might retweet something about Crackdown. I don't know what she does. I don't know if she's out there getting games. I know, Smooth, I'm coming on. I don't know, man. It's the first time. But, just come on, man. She don't tweet anything out. So I hope Booty can fix it. And, I'm going to jump on over there. Right there, sir. I know, guys. Let's take this whole chat over to Planet Xbox. I appreciate you guys coming out. I'm an hour back, so I was all off on my time, but I wanted to get this out there. But I appreciate it. So let's continue the conversation over on Planet Xbox, and that's where I'll be going over there. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again.